All right, 9 days to go until the vote for the referendum. Lots to get through, that and a whole lot more. Joining me now, Sky News senior reporter Carolyn Marcus, Radio 2GB host Michael McLaren. Carolyn and Michael, a very busy day today. I couldn't believe what landed with me today from inside the Yes 23 campaign. I know how these things work. I know how phone canvassing works. That is dynamite to me that it's out there now publicly. But clearly, if they get a sense that someone on the phone is worried about the voice being the first step to a treaty, the line is just call it advisory. That's what the Prime Minister says, as you know, in the media time and time again. If they're more in the Lydia Thorpe camp, and I don't think this goes far enough, they want a treaty now, will you tell them it's all right? The Uluru Statement gives us a treaty down the track. Just hang on and vote for the yes vote. This is shocking, Michael McLaren.
Yeah, it is, Peter, and well done to bring it to people's attention. But it is indicative, is it not, of how the last so many months have gone. We've had, particularly from the Prime Minister, two competing narratives but they cannot reconcile. They are diametrically opposed, and yet he's trying to take them down a horizontal set of tracks together. On the one hand, this is just manners and politeness and reaching out hands of friendship and all nothing really to see here. It's just a little bit of something nice. It'll bring us all together in kumbaya. On the other hand, to a different audience, this is something that is very, very important and radical, and it's going to be fundamentally changing to the way that we govern this country, and it's going to be powerful, and it'd be a brave government that said no to the voice and all this sort of stuff. So the two different narratives coming from within the call centre, which you've highlighted, dovetail quite nicely into those two competing narratives. And I suspect this is why the polling is showing up until this point that more people are saying no than yes, because they, in their own mind, can't reconcile those two diametrically opposed positions marrying at any point. So they're suspicious. And when people are suspicious, they tend to sort of punt it to the curb. And I think that's what we're going to see in, 9 days' time.
That's why we haven't got any detail, Caroline. I mean, this has been my view all the way along. He can't afford to put detail on the table because it's going to flush this out. So he has no detail. He says, trust me, it's coming. So he can speak out of both sides of his mouth. So they can do what we saw now in the telephone canvassing, tell everyone what they want to hear, just basically to buy their vote.
I was going to use that exact expression, Peter, because it's true. He is speaking out of both sides of his mouth. On the one hand, he's promising the activists everything they're asking for on a platter. It is right there on his website, as you pointed out, the Prime Minister's website, where he says he's fully committed to the Uluru Statement from the Heart, which, of course, does not only include the constitutionally enshrined voice to Parliament, it also includes the Makarrata Commission, which is the Treaty Commission, which will oversee truth-telling. So all these things are going to be set in motion, and the activists are placated because they think, well, this is all happening, and then he's not being fully upfront with voters about the grander plan of things, saying, oh, well, it's only one page, the Uluru Statement, forget all those supporting documents, they don't really matter. Let's hope no one's checking my website in their spare time. It's there in black and white, but he wants people to feel relaxed about this just being a modest, feel-good gesture almost. And yet at the same time, it's also supposed to be the silver bullet to fix Indigenous disadvantage. So no wonder people are confused and don't know what to think.
I've got to say, the media in this country are bloody lazy though, Caroline. The media are lazy because it is hiding in plain sight on the Prime Minister's own website. All these commitments about treaties and truth-telling, it's all there. None of it's hard to find. Let's go to an interview this morning on your radio network, if I can, please, Michael McLaren. It was the debate between Peter Dutton and Ray Hadley about those pretty offensive comments, really offensive comments, I have to say, from Ray Martin. I won't get so much into those comments. Let's just listen to what they had to say.
The Prime Minister was at this gathering, as I understand it, with Ray Martin, and he never called Ray Martin out. He never refuted the suggestions by Mr Martin that Australians are, the description that he provided, to be treated like that. I think a lot of Australians would be pretty disappointed, but in one sense, there are a lot of elites out there, including Mr Martin and Mr Albanese and Alan Joyce and others, who I think have a lot of disdain for people living in the suburbs and cities and towns and regional areas, and I think this is just the latest demonstration of it.
Well, Ray rips into it in that exchange, but of course we haven't seen any apology out there today from the Prime Minister or indeed from Ray Martin. How do you think this goes down? You know your audience well, Michael. How do you think this goes down with ordinary Australians?
Well, like a lead balloon. But this has been the problem with the Yes campaign. Again, there's these two different positions. On the one hand, we were told this would be sort of anchored by Shaquille O'Neal and all these famous... Anyway, that didn't go so well. And then there was a change of tack. They put up the spinnaker. They're heading in the other direction. Oh, no, it's just going to be everyday, folk out in the burbs talking to each other around the pub bar. That's what's going to drive this. And then, sure enough, back to the celebs we go again. And almost every time they head in that direction, they put their foot in it. Now, it's too late now to turn it around, I suspect. And more of these sort of snippets are going to come out. And whether... I'm not convinced that these people look down on everyday people. I just don't think they know enough of them to talk at their level and understand their concerns. And a lot of these Yes events, as you know, Pete, have been taking place in things like the Factory Theatre, I think it was, at Newtown or wherever it is, and sort of Leichhardt Town Hall. And these places are going to vote Yes overwhelmingly anyway. They're talking to the converted. They're wasting their time. It'd be like the No campaign having launch after launch out in rural Queensland. It'd be a waste of time. They've got to get out into the areas and convince those that will likely vote no or are very much open to voting no to change their mind, and they don't seem willing to do it.
No, but I think they hope that the corporate millions and all the sporting clubs would do that heavy lifting for them, and that's starting to fade away pretty fast. Michael and Caroline, thank you.